This is George Washington is Black. Nicholas Martel, the adventurous Huguenot, the military engineer, and the earliest American ancestor of George Washington. For there was a distinct French Huguenot strand in the lineage of George Washington. It came from him, his first American ancestor, Nicholas Martel, a Huguenot refugee who came to Virginia in 1620. This infusion of a Huguenot blood into the Washington family is of special interest both to historians and psychologists. History of the Conquest of Spain by the Arab Moors. Christopher Columbus is the topic. You can see it's highlighted up there. His vessel was fitted out in the little port of Palos, which had lately been a Moorish port. His sailors were many of them men with Moorish blood in their veins. It has been asserted that when the Moors were driven out, thousands took refuge in the south of France, who afterwards harboring the Roman Catholic persecutions, and that of these many emigrated at a later date to South Carolina. But that as it may, the Spaniards have found for the world a virgin land in which to introduce Spanish errors and especially Spanish bigotry. And the great tide rushed in from Protestants, Europe to occupy it. So they said the Huguenots are Moors, and it's saying that Christopher Columbus was with the Moorish people, and these Moorish people had Moorish blood in their veins. Again, they said the Huguenots are Moors, and Nicholas Martel was a Huguenot, and Nicholas Martel was a French Huguenot strain in the lineage of George Washington, and he is the first ancestor of George Washington. So if Nicholas Martel is a Huguenot who is a Moor who escaped from France during the Roman Catholic persecution, he fled to South Carolina, but he went to Virginia. And we know that George Washington is a Virginian. So that means George Washington is a Moor due to his ancestors. But we all know that the Moors are black. They're not pale skinned. Let's go to something else to see. Let's get to the middle of it. On the basis of Van Horn's description, added to what the traitor had said casually in his letter of himself, of his military position, what tall, dark officer was there in America, 38 years of age, unmarried? Now let's get to that individual. In any way answering to his description was Colonel Washington. So we're talking about George Washington. Right here, they're asking for the description of this Virginian. Washington, said Captain, was a man about 6 feet in a black complexion with black hair.